All right, everyone, here we go. I thought we'd do another Cure for Cancer reading. I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often than I have because I like taking the temperature of the soulmate cycle here. Ask the universe what it wants to talk to you about here with this reading. It's an all signs reading and it's Cure for Cancer, but it's a Cancer-themed soulmate cycle. So, you know. Look at this. And look how the deck split when I pick it up. Did you see how it's split right there? A major split? Yeah, that's an 8 of Wands, just so you know. And that ties to what I was about to say. That's communication, but rather sudden. You've got somebody here, somebody attached to you is making a rather sudden, and communicating it to you, I might add, a rather sudden decision about you. We'll call it a snap decision, okay? They've been sitting on it for a while, not doing anything about it. 7 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I think this is someone you've given up on or might be inclined to reject, okay? I don't know. I think it's been so long, you're like, you don't even remember the narrative. Like, you don't even remember the story with this person. It's possible. Or that's what you're telling yourself. I'm not sure. Either way, this Ace of Cups keeps wanting to reveal itself, but the universe here, the energy says you might want to give it a second look. You might want to maybe do something here because it'd be really easy to reignite this thing, the fire in your belly for this person or thing. All right? It's part of the soulmate cycle. It is definitely part of it. Again, it reads like somebody making a snap decision about you, and the 8 of Wands that wanted to reveal itself reads like communication. So, hey, whatever. You saw it. I showed you the deck split. All I did was pick it up. You probably noticed it before I did because you were watching the video. I didn't notice it. I don't know. I didn't notice it until I pointed it out. All right, let's go. Let's shuffle the deck. It's Cure for Cancer reading. It's technically an all signs reading. I'm just taking the... It's different than a Cancer reading in that I'm doing a flyover, if you will. The way I might do one of the bigger readings, an all signs reading. So I'm looking at the soulmate cycle and it's Cancerian themed energy from a helicopter viewpoint instead of on the ground, okay, if I was pulling a Cancer reading. So we can see a bit more here a little bit, but it's much broader. It's technically an all signs reading, straight up energy reading. It doesn't matter what your sign is, but we do the reading a little different. We do 5 cards from the bottom, which are the environmental energy around somebody or a situation. And then from the top of the deck, we pull 4 cards, which is how they're behaving in that energy. And I clarify those, okay? Throw some universe cards at the end, don't worry. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here where you found Steve Love Terry, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. It is what it is. Could be near future influence for you. Snap decisions. Whenever I get some kind of reading about somebody making a snap decision, a job or a person, it can always be near future influence, but who the fuck knows when it shows up, right? I mean, it's crazy. All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, we're done. 5 cards from the bottom. We start with a Hierophant. Why is that? Why, that's powerful. Eight of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Fool in the center. Oh, look, whoa. Hold on. This is 2 cards. What do I do about that? Well, it's not 5 cards from the bottom. It's going to be 6. And so I've got these 2 bridged together with a Queen of Swords. I've got my pooing in the yard girl, right? Pooing in the yard. Right there, because the toilet's not good enough, I guess. I don't know. 4 of Cups. And there is the 9 of Cups in the environment. And I'll show you the 6th card because it reveals itself anyway. It's 10 Wands, a lot of pressure. Somebody can't take this. Yeah, this is a real pressure cooker here in the environmental energy. Environmental energy provides opportunity. It encourages us to do things. If you want to look at it as air, cold air around you encourages you to put a coat on, right? You know. Usually what we get is we get somebody where there's something, the environmental energy is encouraging them to put a coat on, and they put on Bermuda shorts and flip-flops. You know, it's usually they react the opposite, you know. But we'll see. I don't know yet. There's a lot of pressure here for somebody to do something, make a decision. These are bookends. These are read together. And this is just sort of a bridging energy here, and that's the baseline energy. So, again, there's a lot of pressure to do something here, right? A lot of pressure to do. She finally snapped and moved. Fuck it, they've been trying to get me out of that damn house on the hill for a lot. Fuck, I'm just going. Packing the cow, I'm out of here. It's a lot of pressure for somebody to make a move here. Something they've tried to avoid something that's good for them and they know it's good for them. This person might suffer from depression or something, or it might be, if this is a job, it can be a job situation too. If this is a job, they hired somebody instead of you, and that's how it worked out. Oh, it's terrible, right? Because you've got the Eight of Pentacles here. So it could be a job, right? It could be. You're definitely the right fit. They always knew you were the right fit. Be it a person or a job. Okay? Somebody knows this truth, but they avoided it. This makes it even more, we understand that in relation to a runner, because they ran. But it makes it really insulting when it's a job, doesn't it? If for you, if this is a job or something, they knew you were the right person for the job, but they hired some other fucker anyway, right? Probably more likely than not, the other fucker they hired was somebody's cousin or somebody's. It's always a lot of nepotism at companies. It's never about qualifications. It's always how big somebody's tits are or who they know, kind of a thing. That's a lot of companies. A lot of companies. You got a lot of people in charge that are paranoid. They won't hire people smarter or better than them because then they feel like their job is in jeopardy. So they hire a bunch of fucking morons. Nothing gets done, and they have high turnover. It's just the way it is. I've run enough businesses over the years to know. I never ran mine that way, but it's the way it goes. Pretty par for the course. But yes, they knew you were the right person. Be it for love or for the job. And the person that they took in didn't work out. Or the person that they dumped you for didn't work out. And now they're really feeling that. It's really hitting them hard in the environmental energy. There's a lot of pressure to make a leap of faith towards you. So how are they behaving in it? Well, I would say this energy is encouraging somebody to do something. If it's a job, call you up and see if you're still available. If it's a person, call you up and see if you're still available. Right? Let's see. Let's go. 4 cards from the top of the deck. All right. 9 of Wands, resistance. Resistance. 9's at the end in tarot. That's encouraging, at least. It'd be worse if it was a 7 of Wands. Okay, so just before you start chucking your phone against the wall going, fuck you, Steve, just chill out. All right, chill out. There's plenty of time to tell me to fuck off. Just sit tight. All right, here we go. Ace of Cups. A couple of cards from the pre-shuffle want to come out here. I've got the 5 of Pentacles crossing that, and I've got a 7 of Cups at the end. Somebody doesn't know what to do. This card just kept wanting to show itself. It wanted to come out with that. I think it's like a bridging energy. I think we have that again where we can sort of put it right there. I don't think I think they want to. I don't think they know what to do. I'm just going to take this away so it's not clear. It's not confusing things. I don't think they know what to do. I think they know they have to do something. I don't think they know how. I don't think if it's hard to call somebody back if it's a job. It's hard to call somebody back and say, we made a mistake hiring that person with the giant tits who couldn't do the job. Maybe you're still available. You want to come in. It's tough. It's hard for them to do that. They very rarely do it. Businesses can't admit, corporations and businesses can't admit they made mistakes. They act like narcissists. Because if they admit they make a mistake, then sometimes they could get sued, right? So it's always blame the customer. That's why when you call the cable company or you have a problem, it's always your fault. Well, let's unplug that modem. You didn't do something right. You fucked up. And even when it is their fault, they won't tell you. 9 times out of 10, it's just they'll find some way to, right? They're always afraid of getting sued. If this is a person, this is a narcissist. It's somebody who just knows they did the wrong thing before, knows they have to do something to fix it, knows they want to fix it. Their feelings are flowing. But there's a restriction because they're confused. They just don't know what to do. That was that 2 of Wands, again, which I put back, which was right there. Okay? All right, let's clarify. Let's grab the witches. Give me let's move this over here. So we can keep an eye on that 10 of Wands because all that pressure is on this girl to jump, right? Go ahead, jump. Okay. All right. Here we go. 9 of Wands. Why is it here? Does this mean they won't do anything? No, of course not. It doesn't mean that at all. We already saw the 8 of Wands. I already told you in the pre-shuffle they're likely to reach out. They're likely to communicate. They don't know how right now. In the current environmental energy, they don't know how. I think even if they do, they still don't know. They might jump over their words, stumble on their words. Hell, I just did it right there. You know? All right, here we go. Nine of Wands, why is that here? Tell me about it. Tell me about the fucking Nine of Wands. What's going on here? All right? And it's funny, too. I said the environmental energy make them feel like, you know, I gave the example. I said it's like the environmental energy is making them feel like they need to put a coat on, and they put on a pair of Bermuda shorts and flip-flops, and I got this girl here in short shorts as the first fucking card. I don't know if you noticed that, but I did. Somebody here just, this person's, I just, you know, when you realize you have to do something, you just do it. You know, I mean, it's crossed by the Page of Cups. This is someone, we've got someone attached to you dealing with emotions they don't know how to deal with. Or if it's a job, it's a situation they don't know how to deal with. But let's move the job aside for a minute. It's not Steve's career tarot. But do know it could be a job thing, and I tried to explain that to you as best I could. Let's stick with it being a person, okay, a soulmate. They've got emotions they don't know how to deal with here. And their answer to that is to shut them down. But then when they do that, they get confused. These two are bookends. They're read together. So they get confused, you know, that they still feel it. It's like you turn off. Imagine you go to your faucet in your kitchen or something. You turn on the water. You get yourself a glass, and then you turn off the faucet, but the water keeps running. It's confusing for a minute. You're like, I don't understand what's happening. I mean, it's probably a washer, but that's not your initial thought unless you're a plumber, right? You're like, why the fuck won't this turn off? You know. It's a bit of that. All right, it's just a bit of that. They got emotions they don't know how to deal with. And again, one last time, if it's a job situation, it's a situation they've never encountered before, okay? And I'll tell you, that's what happens when you hire your fucking relatives instead of somebody qualified. So if somebody gets the job because they're somebody's uncle, it's not a good fucking thing, all right? It's not, let them find their own job somewhere else. I hear McDonald's is paying real well these days, right? What's on top? 9 Wands. What's on top? 6 Pentacles. Why is that here? Page of Wands. Again, I get a little page. This is big boy. I'll paraphrase it this way. These are kids, right? This is a big boy. This is big boy, big girl energy. And they're a page. They don't know how to deal with it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's funny, bridging energy here is 9 cups. 9 cups. It's a match. So they're well aware. That tells me straight up they're well aware of this environmental energy. They knew all along they should have gone with you. Whatever this is. Even if it's a friend. You know, friends do. You have soul connections with friends who do this kind of shit to you all the time. They favor someone else. They ask someone else to go on the trip with them. They should have asked you. It can play out 1,000 different ways. So please just catch my drift here. I'm trying to explain energy, a flow of energy to thousands of people living thousands of different lives. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I got a match here. So they want it. They just don't know how. Okay, fine. Ace of Cups. Why is it here? This card is crossing that. So again, well, hold on. Let's see. Ace of Cups. Why is it here? Tell me about the Ace of Cups. Come on now. Oh, don't give me a hard time, universe. Come on now. Let's not fight in front of the kids, fickle old gal universe. All right, Ace of Cups crossed by the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, they're afraid. They're afraid of what they feel. They're afraid. Hey, I said I wouldn't bring it up again. I will. If it's a job, I think for some of you it is. They're afraid to call you. What did I tell you? I already said they can't call you. They're afraid to do it. I mean, it could result in a lawsuit. What if they say something like, well, we knew you were the right person, but we hired somebody with bigger tits? That's a lawsuit. You were discriminated against. You can't. It's tough for them to do this. And they got to be very clever about how they call you back. Or you could really fuck them up. Right? I mean, it's the same thing here. Somebody is afraid of these feelings because you have a right, for some reason you have a right to yell at this person. It was stupid of them to pass on you, however they did. Okay? I'm telling you, spot on here. All right, let's go. I can dig it. I like this, though. This card would be crossing the Fool. I understand. I like that the fickle old gal universe, the energy around us is putting pressure on them. Imagine a day with a really, as far as environmental energy, we're talking about air, right? Kind of a thing, right? Using that as an example. Imagine a day with a really high dew point, like 80-degree dew point. The dew point is what makes it feel oppressive or nice. Like if you go to the jungle or the rainforest, you're talking about 85-degree dew points and things like that. Even Miami, you ever been to Miami in the summer? That's like 75-degree dew point. You need a shower after you get out of the shower. You know, it's like that. So imagine a really high dew point. It's really oppressive and heavy. All right, it is. The dew point is a calculation between the temperature and the humidity and the relative humidity. It's a formula. I'm not going to bother with it here. But anyway, there are dew point calculators online that you can use. You can look it up. What's on top here? Yeah, they're afraid of the feeling. It's oppressive. This is why it's oppressive. You want to talk about high emotional dew points? Huh? You want to talk about that? That right there is the Empress. That's you. Okay? You're a big deal. You are a big deal. And if I were that job, I would not want to call the Empress and say somebody had bigger tits. That's the best tits in the tarot, isn't it? Right? There's your lawsuit right there. You know, I'll be a witness. You know, hey, I'm telling you, I don't understand, but somebody who's very intimidated by you. They're afraid of these feelings coming up. They're afraid of what the environmental energy is showing them. It's showing them that they have to do it. They have to. They got no choice. Oh. They have to. Underneath that 10 of Wands is 4 Wands. I didn't even know that was there. That's unreal. What else? Yeah, the 7 of Swords. Somebody's trying to find, that's why this is here. That's why this is crossing. See this girl? Somebody's trying to find a way out of it. Somebody's trying to find a way to avoid it. Somebody's trying to find a clever way to explain why they didn't hire you. Because we can't say the other person had bigger tits. Well, we'll get sued for that, so we got to come up with something clever. I give the job example because it's something you can really understand what I'm saying. Because on the emotional front, somebody here knows that you got every right to probably rip their head off. So they're trying to come up with something clever. They're trying to bullshit their way out of this in some way. Well, I tried to reach you, but I kept calling and it said your phone was disconnected. It's a lie. There's no way to really prove it. Maybe they were dialing one number wrong. Maybe they're just making the whole thing up. I guarantee you it's a lie with that card there. The bridging energy is fairyland. Somebody's coming up with some way to make it smell good, make it look good. If it's the job, they're coming up with some way to make it look good that they didn't hire you, okay? Not that the other person had bigger tits, all right, whatever. They're trying to come up with something. If it's the love thing, they're trying to come up with something to make it smell good, make it look good. And they're trying to come up with a way out of it too. They feel... why is that 5 of Pentacles here? It's left out. But somebody left themselves out. But it almost, because it crosses here, tells me that they're going to leave out something. You're going to have a communication from this person. We already know that. The 8 of Wands wanted to show itself. Again, I can't predict free will, but that's the way the energy's flowing. So the way this energy's feedbacking off and coming back at me, I think somebody's going to, it's like a lie of omission. Somebody's going to leave some things out, and that's how they get away with whatever. Like, for example, if it's the job thing, they don't tell you about the whole tit thing, right? They make up something else that they couldn't get sued for. You know, I don't know. Who knows what? Right? 5 of Pentacles, why is it here? Yeah, I think if it's a person, yeah, here it is again. It was crossing, 4 of Pentacles was crossing here, now it's crossing here. And that is crossing there. It's all a big feedback loop. It's all a big feedback loop of fear. If I say the wrong thing, I got to come up with something good. I got to make up a good excuse. What am I going to do? Right? Maybe I should just say fuck it and just forget the whole thing. But then I'm going to feel sad. Right? I just acted out what this person's feeling. Right? Knight of Cups. Why is that here? The Queen of Cups. It's my desert queen. You got a Knight of Cups coming towards you who has a lot of love for you, but there's nothing in the cup. There's no substance to what they're saying. You understand me? There's no substance to it. So You just have to know in advance that the fact that this person, I've told you this before in other readings, it does happen. The fact that somebody even shows up is proof that they love you, okay? Or makes an attempt. It's proof that they love you. So there's Queen of Cups, most love I could pull from the deck, level love here, but it's my Desert Queen energy, so the cup is empty. The water's way the fuck over there. But somebody's making an approach with an empty cup. All right? That's their plan, is to tell you, not tell you how they feel, but just sort of come in and pretend nothing happened. Pretend whatever. If it's the job thing, they pretend that the paperwork got mixed up and we're so sorry, we should have, you know, something like that. You know, something where it's not actionable in some way. Same thing here. So, whether it's emotional or business, it's something that's not actionable. All right? It wasn't my fault. The dog ate it. You know, that kind of thing. I mean, but just the fact that they show up means that they really love you. There's a lot of love here on the love side. And the fact that that company tries to, if it's that, tries to call you, that alone, no matter what they tell you, you know, you're the real deal. You're their only hope. You're their fucking Obi-Wan. Okay? All right, let's go. Seven of Cups. Why is it here? Let's talk about the Seven of Cups. So we already know they're reaching out. We might get an Eight of Wands on top of this. I don't know. We don't need it. We already saw it. In fact, we saw the deck magically split apart, for God's sake. Very rare that happens. Let's see where the deck has to be just right for something like that to happen, because the cards are all randomly shuffled all the time and set at certain angles. Right? So it only happens in certain card configurations. So it's a big deal. What's going on with Seven of Cups? Tell me about it. What's the final on this for my people? Yeah, I get you. It's better than an Eight of Wands, I think. It's the King of Cups crossing it. It's somebody coming to tell you how they feel. But how they, you know, a little bit more on the rocks side than the water side. All right? They're trying to figure out a way where they don't have to share a cup with you. But they'll give you a rock. Right? Okay. What's on top? Three of Pentacles. Why is that here? The Sun. I knew it was something good. Honestly, I thought it was a death card, but it would have been good here. It would have been fine. I'll take the Sun. They like you more than even I suspect. Okay? You're their Obi-Wan, whether it's the job thing or the love thing. You're their fucking Obi-Wan. You've got... There's a devil right there. Somebody's obsessed with making things right, with doing this right. Somebody here, you got karma with this person. So you're haunting them. How do I put it? You're haunting them. All right? Somebody, if it's the job thing, somebody got fired because they didn't hire you and they hired the other titty person. Okay? Somebody got fired for that. They're not going to tell you that, but somebody did. Somebody got in trouble. There's karma here coming back on. And if it's the love thing, there's karma coming back on this person. This card by default makes my read on this fairly accurate, but very milder than what it is. Somebody here knows they're never going to escape this and they've got to go in. They're just trying to make themselves as comfortable as possible, so they show up with an empty cup. But I will tell you, you are their sunshine. Their only sunshine, right? I mean, you make them happy when skies are gray. It's a song, I think. It's just ringing in my head right now. They'll take anything. This energy, whoever it is, they'll take anything. You can shine their shoes once a week, right? If you just drive by their house and throw a rock at it once a week, they'll be happy. I'm exaggerating to be cheeky, but they'll take friendship, they'll take love, they'll take whatever, right? If it's the job thing, they don't care if you took another job and you could just do it temp. They need your help. You're their fucking Obi-Wan, okay? Straight up. And it's haunting them what happened here. It's just they're too small to deal with it. And that applies if it's a business. It does. It applies if it's a business too. Businesses piss me off because they're so worried about getting sued and getting whatever that they don't do anything right. They blame shift, and they behave like narcissists. Somebody here is a narcissist a little bit, but they keep themselves very closed off. I'm going to see what else the universe wants to tell you here, okay? So there's a lot of, I don't want to call it self-loathing for this, but I feel like you haunt them on some level, okay? I'll put it that way. All right. I'm going to just, what else you want to tell these people, universe, before we go? All right. Anything else? One card and a crossing card. What else you want to say? You know what? Fuck that. No, seriously, I can say that. It's my reading. Well, it's your reading, but I'm doing it, right? I'm the only one here right now. Well, your energy is here, so actually that's not true either. Anyway, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm going to clarify the Fool. So what are they going to do? I got pressure here. I got nothing but pressure. Tell me about the Fool. All right? And then I'll pull a final message for you. I'm not going to cheat you out of a final message. It's fine. All right? Take it easy. I'm not your person. I don't make stupid moves like this. This is crazy. I already know in advance. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to miss anything in this life. I want to experience as much as I can so I can learn as much as I can. All right? Here we go. The Fool. Why is it here? What are they going to do? It's crossed by the Emperor. Well, it's a control energy. Somebody going to take control. Underneath that, Eight of Wands. Fueling the Emperor. There it is. I mean, I don't know why, I'm not even going to say it. I don't know why I'm your second favorite. I have no idea. But look, there it is. Came back. Haven't seen it since the beginning of the reading. There it is. This guy, what are they going to do? It's too much pressure. They're just going. You will likely hear from this person. Okay? I can't predict free will, so there's no 100% of you. But if it's a job, the percentage is a lot higher that they're going to call. They're just trying to find a way to do it so they don't get screwed, right? They can't tell you. They cannot legally tell you they hired the other person because they had bigger tits. Jesus, it's got to be a windfall for you in a courtroom. Let me tell you. What's on top? Knight of Cups. They're coming towards you. Where have we seen? Oh my God, where have we seen the Knight of Cups? Oh, here he is. Right, but they're coming with an empty cup. It's with my Desert Queen over here. And look at that. They're coming to you. There you are, the Empress and the Empress. I mean, it doesn't get much more symmetrical than that. When I pull on that, I get all the cards I've been talking about in this reading. Even the tits. The best tits in the tarot. They know it, but they won't tell you. Okay? They know it, but they won't tell you. If it's the job, they'll make up some kind of clerical error. They're not going to tell you you were the best person for the gig all along, and we're lost without you. They're going to tell you it was a clerical error. That's a Knight of Cups with an empty cup, right? There's more. They want you more, but they're not going to tell you that. If it's a love thing, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you the depth of their feelings. They're going to tell you, I lost my phone, or they're going some sort of, where is it? Bullshit. Okay? Straight up. All right, what else you want to? Okay, let's take them out. Let's take them out so they don't come back. What else you want to tell these people? We'll just put it right there because it's perfect. Perfect symmetry in a reading. That's why I like tarot. It's a really great medium. It really is. If you put it out there right, it'll tell you exactly what you want to know. All right. As far as percentages go, I don't know. But for a good enough chunk of you, this is a business thing. All right, this is a job. So if you'll know if it's you if you didn't get the job. And you're surprised you didn't get the job. Right? I mean, you were so qualified, it was ridiculous. But hey, it's what it is. It's like McDonald's turning down Gordon Ramsay. Nah, we don't need you. Okay. We don't think you could do it. Okay. I would say a decent chunk of you. It's business. But the majority, this is a person, of course. It's Steve's Love Tarot, not Steve's Career Tarot. Okay, what else you want to tell these people? One card, a crossing card. What you... Ten of Wands. The crossing card came back in the Two of Wands. Just keep saying, look, whatever's going on here, it must put somebody's mind at ease. Every person matters. Everybody, everything is energy, everything is connected, we're all connected. So if one person's sad, you should be fucking sad about that. You know, not this selfish crap, oh, I'm glad it's not me. You know, that kind of crap. It's getting us into energetic trouble in the world, let me tell you. Friendly warning from an energy reader. Take my word for it. I will tell you this. This makes put somebody's mind at ease. There's a lot of haunting pressure being put on this person to do something for once. Whether it's the job or the person in the love situation, or your mom or your dad or a family member of some kind that you've got a soul connection with, or a friend, whatever it is. There's so much pressure for them to make a move, to do something, to set a fucking intention, that it's probably keeping them up at night. I'll be honest with you. It's probably really fucking them up. I can feel the karma attached to this right here. All right? Somebody knows what they have to do. I just don't know if they have the emotional maturity to do it properly. They're probably going to come up with some bullshit. Just chuckle. I get lied to. I'm the human lie detector. I get lied to on a daily basis. Everybody, even asking somebody how they're doing. Oh, I'm doing great. Instantly I smell fucking roasting walnuts. You're full of shit. You're doing great. You're at the grocery store. You're buying top ramen and off-brand Twizzlers, and you're telling me that's what you're living on for the week, and you're doing great. Yeah, okay, sure, right? It's not about that. It's not about calling people on their shit. So don't do that here. If you want to be happy here, just smile a little bit and know that it wasn't a clerical error why they didn't hire you. And it sure as fuck wasn't somebody's phone was broken why they didn't reach out, okay? That's your reading. If it makes somebody feel better, there's a lot of pressure on them. There really is. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Good luck.